Hi, Kasper.
Hi, Casper.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
We talked about just before hitting recording that we're both a bit stressed.
Yes. There's a lot to tend to, which is a positive sign, I guess.
Absolutely.
But it's also a mental state where you need to balance yourself.
Yeah, we spent, 15, 20 minutes just breathing deep before actually going in, making sure that we had the right energy for this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you stressed?
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And stress is such an overused word also, but it's like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of really interesting things happening at Acutics. There's a lot of interesting things happening in my private life. We are renovating a summer house.
Nice.
So that is a
stress factor on top of work.
A source of stress out of the ordinary.
But I guess it's like running, or being at work. I guess you have a stakeholder you need to manage at home, partner maybe.
Yeah.
And then a lot of consultants.
Exactly. You're speaking from experience, private experience here.
in making sure that they're actually executing according to a project plan that may not exist.
Exactly. And I think that the most interesting part about this is that stress doesn't come from having 1,000 things going on. It comes from a few things that's out of your control for a human being like me.
Yeah. Many years ago, I read an article about that. It's also about how we perceive stress.
Yeah.
Because the word has a has a negative feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the English term is for it, but excuse me. But that if we change the narrative around stress, it's a superpower of being able to focus, maybe.
Yeah.
For some.
Did you see the Olympics with the interviews of I'm actually not sure where she's from. She speaks very well American, but I think she's Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Like talking about how to control your mind and how to do all these things. It's super interesting.
Yeah, and she's only
22 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that,
right?
like early 20s.
And it's super impressive, and I think it's something that we can all learn from that approach.
Yeah.
And I think it's being very hyped because it's true. So I love watching television when I have time.
When you're not stressed.
Yeah. And did you see actually talking about television and movies that Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger are planning a new movie?
No.
About music composers.
Okay.
Yeah. And I saw an interview that was quite interesting where they talked about which composers they would be. And Sylvester Stallone said, like, I will be Mozart. And then Arnold said, I'll be Bach. And talking about being back, we're back.
We're back, yeah.
This is season 2.
Yeah, I guess we can call it season 2.
We did.
We just did, yeah. And we decided that we want to, what's the word? Nominate this episode. No, not nominate. Is it nominate?
I don't know.
I want to say dictate, but that's not the word.
No.
Dedicate.
We want to dedicate.
We want to dedicate this episode to just looking back on some learnings, because we are new at starting a podcast.
Yeah.
There's potentially many others who want to start a podcast.
Yeah. And it's like 90% of podcast doesn't exceed episode 3. I read somewhere.
And we fixed that by recording all episodes basically in one day.
No feedback. Talking about data. Yeah, that's the way. We're changing that. We have the data now.
Yeah.
And it is actually quite clear that talking about data and talking about the impact of data in business is something that people are interested in.
Yeah.
Which is why we're here today.
Yeah. Some feedback I received as well was that people would like it to be more tangible when we talk about solutions.
Yeah.
And I guess that's specifically for Adobe solutions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's great feedback.
It's awesome feedback, especially because it criticizes you more than me.
Yeah.
which I think is really good.
Yeah, but I think it's also difficult to be tangible in a podcast if you're not sharing your screen or doing something, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess it's also in regards to who you're targeting as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But we could have a whiteboard maybe in this season. Try that out, or you could try screen, or you could try
that's
that.
Not a bad idea.
That like for topics around that tools and stuff like that, we could definitely do that.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. Something to work on, right? And I guess, like we said before, we recorded all episodes basically in one day. Mm-hmm. I guess if we start with the technical things of it, we started out in for me, an extremely professional setup.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if I don't recall incorrectly, there was 3 cameras.
Yes.
2 microphones.
Yeah. And the kind of
and a mixer to
a mixer, and the learning around microphones and sounds and all these things that every podcast exceeding episode 3 have been in.
Yeah. If you get past episode 3, that's
exactly.
Yeah. And it's no secret either that we spent quite some time in just getting the setup to work before we started recording.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we did.
Because there were tons of cables, trying to figure out where one cable went and where it started and where it ended. Making sure that all the cameras had constant power.
Exactly.
To not turn off.
But it's the same issues. As a former touring musician, we always had a saying, because we all want the best gear, we all want the best tech, we all want the best. But the more technical we make it, the higher the complexity, which essentially fits perfect when we talk about MarTech and data and all these things. Yeah. So it's about finding where, because things will go wrong, and when you're on the biggest stage, that's when your microphone will drop, or your in-ear will set out, or you like. So sometimes it's about like figuring out where we want to go and how can we get there with least amount of challenges, but ensuring a high quality, which is super interesting for all the talk. And that's what we're seeing now, which is why we are in this beautiful setting here.
It's a Creases library.
Yeah.
Which is it got its name because we have about 30 books in here. Mm-hmm. Like you said, you don't have enough books. You can't call it a library, but it's one of the meeting rooms that has the most books.
Yeah.
Primarily because none of the other meeting rooms has any books.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But that's so we're sitting in the library.
Yeah, and it's very beautiful.
We also recording with my phone's camera instead of multiple fancy cameras.
Yeah.
And then we're recording straight into Riverside, which should probably, it's a non-sponsored episode, but it should probably be sponsored now that I mentioned them by name.
Yeah, it's a free sponsorship now.
Yeah, we're season 2 and we're looking for a sponsor.
Yeah, exactly.
So we try to find a sponsor by just mentioning random softwares.
Yeah.
Riverside has now been mentioned twice. And then we're sitting with DJI mics.
Yeah. Right. Very simple, and we hope that it translates out there. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll of course adapt. Let us know.
Yeah. Another thing that we're changing is we want to be recording on a more regular basis. So instead of throwing everything in, 10 episodes in one day, we want to be more relevant by only recording 1 or 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's important that we have a backlog. Because I think the most important thing for me from a podcast perspective is that you publish on a regular basis.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Also with you being very busy. Then we sometimes need to say like we cannot, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so just so that we have something in case both of us are busy or if you're spending time in your new summer house.
Yeah.
Right. I think with Riverside we can also do it virtually. Or remote.
So that's which we will do, because like another learning that we have is that we want to bring on more guests.
Yeah.
So responses to the guests that we brought on in season 1 has been incredible. So we want to bring on more guests, and we are in dialogue with quite some interesting CMOs and data leaders out there, whom will be on this season. So I look forward to that.
And I'm surprised that people are actually interested in it, despite being a young podcast.
Yeah,
right.
It's a very young podcast. The hosts,
but we're
obviously
past 3 episodes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I guess as soon as you're past 3 episodes, there's not going to be a problem getting guests.
No. But Kasper, I think this reflects back to the topics that we're talking about. So obviously there's the tech part, but I think the data part of this is exploding. I heard another podcast. I usually only listen to ours, of course, but I heard by accident a different podcast where the head of growth from Lovable shared like great insights. It's called Lenny's podcast. I can recommend it if you haven't heard it. But talking about the speed in marketing, and that before we would create go-to-markets on a yearly or bi-yearly basis or whatever, like it would be long stretches where now in this AI realm, everyone needs to essentially on a monthly, 3-month basis, rethink the entire go-to-market because product development is so fast. This takes data, and this takes data to be correct. 95 of all AI projects fail, as we talked about in season 1. So if the data is not aligned and correct going into these projects, we are not able to move at the speed that the market demands now. I think that's hyper interesting, and I think that's also why a lot of the data leaders that we've been in talk with from some of the world's biggest companies that are interested in joining this conversation is because we are all considering these things right now.
Yeah.
It's not tech only, it's data, it's people, it's timing a lot.
Yeah.
So it's, I think it's really relevant, and I think that season 2 of That's Talk Data will focus way more on that, and we should focus way more on having people in here who are in this transition right now, because we're all figuring out the answers as we go.
Yeah, and that's definitely a shift I'm seeing as well, that there's more focus on being able to utilize the data in your organization rather than focusing on the technology.
Yeah.
Right. And it's something that we've been pushing for many years, but it seems like AI and the need for a proper data foundation has really shifted the mindset of companies' leaders in regards to how
totally company structures. Like we see that technology is replacing employees.
Yeah.
So the conversation about is your job in danger is actually relevant. And it's not to say that all jobs are in danger, because they're definitely not, but there are processes from the AI now that when it's based on correct data, that it works enough to save money and become more efficient, which is scary and interesting. Which is most scary is that a lot of companies think they can do this based on like low data quality.
Yeah.
So we can easily make the decision. We can not easily, but companies can restructure their processes. But when they look at the results, that will kind of be the real insight into if this was a bad decision.
Yeah.
And all data indicates that it is if you're not in controlling what you're feeding your processes with.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I guess what just happened is also a learning for me in regards to, I think a value for me with the podcast is schedule time to think out loud with someone.
Yeah.
Right? Because I often find that finding the time to thinking out loud together with team members or whatever is difficult.
Yeah.
Right? If it's not scheduled.
Yeah.
And for me, it's been really valuable to get your perspective on things and just saying out loud whatever thoughts that I'm having.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, right? Sometimes it's when you hear your own thoughts that you get to reflect better on them.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And then we have an unfortunate audience that have to listen to all our thoughts being processed here.
Yeah, stupid thoughts that hasn't turned into gold yet, potentially, right?
We appreciate you guys a lot. And we hope that you are getting some of the same reflections from this, because...
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that I'm hoping with the podcast is to get people to reflect
Yeah.
right? I want to make sure that people are getting, or that listeners are getting value from our talks.
Yeah.
And for me, some of the most valuable podcasts is obviously, like we talked about, tips and tricks sometimes, but also getting me to reflect and get another perspective on some things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we can support in that regard, or add that to.
We'll do our best.
Absolutely.
And if there's episodes that's not spot on, we hope that I can say I've never been this popular in my life, in my private social engagement.
Okay.
From sharing your jokes.
My jokes.
The jokes that you told me in season 1. When I tell them at a dinner party, oh man, it's never like. So I hope that you guys out there are using the jokes to your convenience.
That's the minimum. If that's the only thing you take away from it, it's all worth it.
I take much more away from it, but I like that.
Yeah.
That.
But if listeners, that's the only thing taken away with the dad jokes, I think we've done our.
Like getting good jokes and learning about data and tools and processes.
Which reminds me, I have a fantastic one for you for the next episode, and I guess with that, let's wrap it up as a
cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger.
A proper cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger.
Okay.
So thanks for listening, and I'm looking forward for the next episode with you guys.
Welcome to season 2, guys. We have killer topics. We have killer guests. We promise you that. So we'll see you soon.
See you soon.